Now we're going. Now my brain can remember. Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to start us off here and just go over, let me one more person in, go over kind of the structure of the course and the dates, the kind of more details, talk about some of the fun stuff that you'll experience. And then we have lots of time for questions or the structure of it a little bit is unique, and so we want to really make sure everybody has an understanding of that. So if we explain it and you have more questions, as long as we need to go there. And then I will hand it off to Allie, and she is going to take us through the meditation with the foxes and the ferns, and I'm so excited. She'll go over it more right before, but also there will be a little energy work on the back end that me and Allie will provide. And so, as always, it is a consent do with process. So you can say it out loud or internally, just say, yes, I want the energy work portion of this, or no, thank you, I'm just going to listen and have my own. And whatever that is for you, you'll receive or you won't. So, ball's always in your court. Okay, I'm gonna do a screen share real quick.
I'm really happy. I feel like a lot of these calls, people lead you in with like a little come to my meditation experience, and then they talk about the course at the end. We're just going to get all this out of the way and like covered, and then you can be in like blissed out meditation state afterwards. I'm
Then
really
you can
excited.
be nice and doughy and finish your night.
Just relax.
All right, is this screen share working okay, Al?
Yep, I see it.
All right, so welcome to Inward Expansion, which the name of this course was um, named by my mesquite tree, which at the time I didn't even realize. The name just kind of plunked in my head. And I've made multiple businesses at this point, and I know my usual process of like laboring over it and pros and cons and Googling it, and this one, it was just kind of, it immediately came in. I'm like, oh, inward. And then later, this mesquite tree, one of my main guides was like, yeah, I put that in your brain. Like, I named the course. I was like, oh my gosh, you made that so easy. And then we added the expansion part to it. So really, yes, the cherry on top is learning how to communicate with animals, plants, and nature. But really, what we're wanting to facilitate and help everyone learn is this deep level of connection. And at the end of the day, it's connection to self. Because once you're fully connected to self, then the plants, the animals, the land, they're reflecting back to you these parts of yourself. So, it's inward expansion. We're going in because inside of us is everything that we need. Um, so the details of it starting October 5th to December 14th. And then we're thinking of doing like a integration call, one integration call afterwards, maybe a month after, just kind of check up on everybody, see how everybody's progress is going, if we have any questions after we've like done the homework for a bit and all that. Um, Again, to be determined there. It's 11-week program total. It's 5 weeks and then one integration week and then 5 weeks after. Weeks 1 through 5, the live calls will be Sunday at 4 o'clock Pacific time. And then week 6 integration, you're just going to be practicing homework. And then week 7 through 11, the animal communication calls will continue to be Sunday at 4. And then the plant communication for 3 of the later ones are going to be on Monday rather than Sunday, which we will give like full dates and details on that. Um, but just because we can't have them overlap. So some of them are group and some of them are not. And so if we're not, then those couple ones will be bumped to Monday. Price
I
down
can run it
tier.
too. I think when we send out the email with the replay, I'll write out like the exact schedule for
The
everybody.
exact dates
So that
and yeah.
everyone has like exact week by week schedule, just because that's one of those things where we really love the structure of the course and how much everyone kind of gets to stay together, even if you go to animals or to plants, like whatever you want to specialize in. We're kind of maintaining the community and everyone can still kind of come in together and like share some experiences. But I understand that we need to be specific about the dates. So I'll write that out like specifically in the email with the replay.
Yeah, when we're all caught up here, we're going to send an email with these exact slides. We'll also send the replay of this and then the exact dates Allie's talking about, and then a link to click to book if you want to either book if you want a little extra time, like a 15-minute Zoom call if you have more questions, or to figure out like your specific needs for the course or something. So we're offering that, or if you just want to sign up, that will all be available in an email that we'll send out right after this. Um, Price down here, 1,234. That's my angel number. So there's a little bit of magic there. All right. So the way we have structured it is weeks 1 through 5, the whole group will be together, whether you're in the plant communication lane or the animal communication lane. We're all in one big group, which I think is super fun because I think building community and like finding your special people while doing this is so life-changing. Me and Allie met through doing our first animal communication course. We have been besties ever since. We would not be where we are on our journey if it wasn't for that relationship. So we both have set a lot of energetic intention around the group that we're coming together. And then part of that is letting you guys find some of your own soul family here and making these connections. So we want to keep the group as big as possible to leave space and room for that. Um, so weeks 1 through 5 is unlocking your telepathic potential, and it's some more foundational, it's understanding how to work with your mind to create your desired reality. Me and Allie both are certified in NLP, so there's a bit of brain working stuff in there, working with your unconscious mind and your conscious mind and your filters, and then how to like clear some limiting beliefs to be able to create the reality you want. We're going to meet with your guides, which if anybody that knows me here knows, I mean Allie too, but like it's our jam. Like we love our team so much. So we'll do an intro into meeting some guides and your higher self connection, which your higher self is just like the rest of you that's still up in source, still in spirit. And, this little amount is kind of in our body right now, but we don't have a full remembrance. So having that access to your higher self can guide you through so many things in life. Anything that you like need a little insight or help connecting up, that's the most you authentic way to receive that guidance. So that's one doorway of where we're kind of starting. Like first connect to your higher self and then go out from there. Meet your guides from there, meet your other things you're working with once you've made that contact point. Um, we'll do some good basic stuff like grounding, clearing, energetic hygiene, probably stuff we've all heard about, but like it's so important. We do this for work professionally. We're still like, I'm gonna go ground between sessions and really, really important stuff to be able to do this work well and to be able to continue to do the work. We're going to do some clearings. We're going to facilitate on live calls some HUNA clearings for limiting beliefs and any stuck negative emotions that will, if you have any blocks from life that make you self-doubt or whatever it is that would maybe tell you that you couldn't do this work, we're going to bust those out right in the beginning so that it's a clean slate. It's, yes, I can do this. This is how I'm going to do it. And the garden method for telepathic success is our process that we're going to go through. We're going to have everybody create their own garden, and that's how we're going to access communicating with animals, communicating with plants or trees, whichever one it is that you choose. So this is weeks 1 through 5. We're all together. Then we take a week off, you practice. You can have your partners do extra trades, whatever you need. And then week 7 through 11, if you choose to do the animal communication lane, you're going to learn to ethically connect with animals, how to interpret messages clearly and with neutrality. Let me say it again, and with neutrality. You're going to build trust and deepen relationships with the animal kingdom, learning what your potential even looks like of how you can connect in these different ways and what it can offer you and your perspective of how you function through life. And then the really cool part, is some activation meditations that are channeled from vultures, dolphins, horses, and whales. So me and Allie have fully channeled these from these animals or beings and created a walk-through activation process where energetically they are joining us. It is us and them, and we are putting this remembrance of energy into your field to help activate it back in you. And the way the breakdown is each week is before class, you will have there about 30 minutes-ish of a pre-recorded video, which is some teachings. So you have one pre-recorded before, and then every week there's one live call, and then you'll have homework. And so then again, you'll get a pre-recorded live call homework. And that's all those three things every week, except for integration week 6. Um, and so then if you're choosing, oh, I was trying to move this up. There we go. If you're choosing the plant communication lane, you will learn how to communicate with plants, from house plants to ancient forests, the redwoods, anything in between there. Learn consent. Again, I'll say that one again. Consent, discernment, and plant spirit connection. The trees and plants have taught me so much, and there is definitely a different way to approach them and to engage with them. So, learning how to play by their rules is how I like to think of it, like learning what they need and how they want things to go. And we have asked the land, we have asked the trees, we have done collective groups and asked the questions of like, how do you want us to present this? We, on both of these courses, we're very much working with the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom for um, spreading their message in the most authentic way that we can. So also for the plant communication, we'll be working with the collective consciousness of the land. A different way to view that is kind of a different lens. You know, you can talk to one dandelion, or then you can zoom out, change your lens, talk to a field of dandelions, or you can talk to the collective of all dandelions. You know, there's different lenses that you can choose to view from, and the information that you receive will be different depending on that lens. So we play with that a little bit. And then the activation meditations channeled for the plant communications is from sunflowers, dolphins, lion's mane mushroom, and the redwoods. Um, we're super excited for those. Those are going to be so much fun. We've had so much fun collaborating with them on those. Okay, so back to the breakdown per week. I've already kind of gone over this. There'll be that one pre-recorded and then one 90-minute live call, and then homework. And homework in the beginning will be a little bit more homework with yourself. And then as we go into the second tier of either animal communication or plant communication, it will be like group partners, practice with each other a bit more. And everybody in the group will have access to a Telegram chat. So you guys will all be in a group chat together. So if you want to get to know each other, if you want to share wins, if you want to ask a question, be like, hey, has somebody experienced this? Or how is this feeling for you? That's a super, super good way to lean on each other. And I truly feel like the more you give in and lean into that community element, like you get so much in return. Let me see. My last point here is the second half of the course. There will be a lot of practice sessions, including trades with fellow students. So definitely more the first half is a bit more learning, and then the second hands we get super hands-on, lots of practice, sharing results, that kind of stuff. That's all I've got for this. For the Q&A, I have a question or two that people have already asked me that I'm just going to start there, and then I'll open the floor up for any questions you guys have. Um, so one question I have was, can I take both courses? Which, of course, that's my favorite question. Yes. Um, if you have enough time to take both at the same time, that would be amazing. And also, it is a lot of time invested just even to take one lane. So and I would hate for somebody both at the same time and feel overwhelmed and get less from it. Um, so it just kind of depends on how much time you have, if taking both of these is possible and feasible to fit into your life. And if it is not feasible to take both at the same time, we're going to continue running this course yearly now. It once a year for sure, twice a year, I think is the goal. So if you have already taken one full lane of it, if you want to take the second half, I mean, you're welcome to audit the first 5 weeks if you'd like, but you can just pop back in and take the second half. Obviously, the price will like be different if you're just coming back for the second half there. So yeah, absolutely you can get through both of these, and all the foundations in week 1 through 5 are going to be the same foundations you'll need for either lane. So if you master either the animal or the plant, whichever one you're feeling a little more drawn to, if you master it, the second one's going to be like, oh my gosh, I've got it. And then you're just going to get a lot of really good tools and etiquette and how to do it with like some good ethics and stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I've got for questions so far. So if you guys are welcome to unmute, put it in the chat. Um, if you have any questions, I might X out of this so that I can see the chat better.
Mm. Also, I do have one like frequently asked question on my end already is like, I'm really interested in both, and I know that I only have time for one or the other. Which one would you recommend I start with? Start with the animals. If you know you want to do both, but you're just on the fence, then I think it's just a really, really easy way to start with the animals to get consistent feedback to build that self-trust because there's someone who takes care of that animal who can verify that information for you in a much easier way. With the plants, we need to rely a little bit more on our own discernment, so that one's a little bit easier um, to start with. And the animals are also just like the sweetest, safest teachers in the world. They're just the app. Like I can't recommend that enough. Um, in terms of just starting with the animals if you're on the fence. Mm.
There's one question here in the chat. Will there be an option for a payment plan? So we're figuring out how to do that. Yes,
Mhm.
there will be. It's more like on our end, figuring out
Tech
the
stuff,
best way to do that.
tech
But
stuff. Yeah.
yes, we'll figure it out.
Um, and especially like pet talk people will reach out to you too about that.
That will be a
Um,
little bit different
so
dynamic for the talk people.
yeah. So for you, Michelle, I'll make a note to reach out to you in particular. Um, And yeah, that's us figuring out how to do tech things as well as all of the fun stuff that we know and love how to do. We're figuring out like website logistics and how to set that up essentially. So we
We've learned
will
so
work with.
much.
We've learned so much in the past few weeks. Um, whether
Yeah,
I wanted to learn these skills or not, I know them now.
we got
Um,
it.
but yes, we are happy to work with people on that. And I dropped in the chat the email. So if you have any questions at all after this, like, or if you want to do like a little intake call where you want to talk about your situation specifically with one of us, to do like a little 15-minute, just like hop on a quick call and, um, if you want to talk about any experience that you're coming into this with and just trying to figure out like what works best for you, what fits best for you, you can either reply to the replay that we're going to send out or just that email team@inward-expansion.com. For the sake of the replay, since they won't get access to the chat, again, that's just team at inward expansion or inward. It's actually a hyphen expansion.com. And then I popped in our little like landing page here that has some more info if you just need the reminders. So those are in the chat for you guys. But you can either reply to the email that we send out with the recording or just send us a little message there if you want to do like a little intake call to talk about your situation in particular. And we can work out like payment plan logistics for anyone who needs that. And what's the cost to take both at once? Would be if you're really, really ambitious, Bex.
One and a half
One and a
cost, basically.
half. um, essentially, yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, thank you for asking. Um, that would essentially just be the, yeah, you want to do the math on,
I'm gonna do
on
it really
that?
quick. Let me pull out my handy calculator.
One and a half. And that would be one of those things like we can customize things for everybody if you want to do like both at once. That's one of those situations like reach out to us and we can kind of customize payment stuff for everybody in particular.
The math, 1851.
Okay, 1851. Rounded to 1850. Eh?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, thank you for asking that one. Any other questions from the group?
And then if you just want to go over to clarify one more time, if anybody's ready to sign up, what that looks like.
Yeah, as far as like if you're just like I'm in, I'm going, like let's go right now. That link right down here, so right below the email, that inwardexpansion.com is the landing page right now. You can actually just check out. So one thing that I do just want to say about the landing page is it's just gone live today. I think everything's good. It looks good. It seems like everything's like up and running, and there's the way that the developers that we worked with set it up. They just have like a little drop down menu when you're in the checkout zone of like track one or track two, instead of saying like animal communication or plant communication. Track one is animal communication. It'll show up after you select it. Track two is plant communication, which will also just show up after you select it. Um, so that's the only thing, but you can go through that link and sign up right now if you want to. Who is teaching which class? Good question. We'll both be on the calls. Unless one of us has like a little family emergency or gets sick or something, we'll both be on the live calls. And in the pre-recorded content as well. We take turns. So
We're both there. It's like us back and forth on it. So you get both of our faces the whole time.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Um, also feel free to tag team. Yes. You get twice the magic, essentially, when we're doing it this way. Um, and also, if anybody has questions that they think of after, again, feel free to email that team@inwardexpansion.com email or respond to the replay email, and we've got you.
Are we ready for the fun part?
All ready for the fun part? Okay, awesome. Um, this meditation came through a couple days ago. It's one of my favorites so far, and I am really happy that it's one that all of you lovely people get to experience. Um, it's going to be a little different than some though. So the fox contact that I worked with, and this is kind of a nice mini lesson in connecting to collective consciousness versus an individual. When I popped in with the collective consciousness of like foxes, of like all foxes, various species of foxes. It was just like collective consciousness of fox. And they kind of start the meditation talking in this we voice, and then it dials into one specific guide. So one like fox spokesfox essentially decided to run the rest of the meditation. The rest of the meditation is going to be me narrating in that fox's voice. So it's going to be a little bit interesting where like I'm going to be referring to I in the meditation. What I mean is the fox. Because the fox itself kind of walks you through as the guide in this process. And I'm going to connect up with that fox as we do this. So they will be kind of holding space while we're walking through the meditation, as well as the ferns will be holding space as we walk through the meditations. The ferns, you'll see in the process. They stay kind of collective, but we're going to walk through a kind of fun little connection experience with plants in this as well. And that was all up to them. So all of this, like some of the language in it, is kind of formal and like a little more formal than I tend to speak, but that's just because I didn't edit it. I may have changed like one little thing here and there just for readability's sake, but I really didn't edit this at all. It's kind of just straight from them, how they wanted it to be. So there's also one thing that I wanted to let everyone know because of that is that they give us instructions in the meditation to open and close your eyes at various points. Obviously, when we're in meditation, you guys settle into your space, close your eyes. When they say open and close your eyes in the meditation, just do it in your mind's eye. You don't have to actually open your eyes in real life. Stay in the experience, stay kind of like zened out. Of course, if you're driving, just pop along for the experience and come back and close your eyes later. and like really dive into it later. But that is one thing that I just wanted to highlight of like, you can keep your eyes closed the whole time just to stay really immersed in it, but in your mind's eye, you can kind of imagine yourself opening and closing your eyes. Um, that I think is just about it. I am also, they just jumped right in when I channeled it from them. So, for the sake of relaxing everybody and getting everyone kind of in the zone, what I'm going to do is just walk everyone through a little gentle relaxation process at the very beginning here. And then you'll notice that I'm going to switch into the collective fox voice. And then you're going to notice that switch into the individual, like, fox guide that decided to show up for the whole group into that voice. Um, and I think that's just about it. Oh, the background energy work. Just a little reminder, if you want to receive it, I will be kind of dropping that in behind the scenes, as will Emily, without really making a whole lot of mention to it, just as you're relaxing. That would be the time to kind of, if you want to be like, ooh, am I going to notice this? My contribution is going to be, as I'm relaxing you down, can give you a little something to kind of just like help you get in the zone and make the most of the experience. That's going to be the intention behind anything that we're sending. And Emily's kind of going to be running point in the background as we go through. And again, the foxes and ferns themselves may come into your space because they are holding space for this experience too. So just set your intention if you want to receive any of that from any sources or not, and then you're covered. Okay, everybody ready? I think we're all like good to go. Everyone feel cozy? Okay. I'm going to start with a little gentle relaxation process that we do feature in the course. That is a nice trick to just get in the zone, get into the nice like brainwave states that help you make the most of experiences like this. Called Hakalau, or also called the learning state in some circles. It's a really nice trick if you are a student to do this before you study. It's actually been studied and demonstrated to improve test scores. So just a little hack there. But with your eyes open for the moment, you just pick a spot right in front of you, if it's safe to do so. If you're driving, come back to it. Pick a spot right in front of you, directly above your eye line. So kind of imagine that you're looking right up in between your eyebrows at a spot that's just above your natural eye line, looking right ahead of you. So pick a spot on the wall, maybe looking out the window, whatever feels good to just gently rest your eyes on. And then if you'd like, you can lift your hands up in front of your eyes, just like prayer position like this, and then slowly start to move them out to the periphery while maintaining your eye contact on that spot that you chose. And you can just move your hands slowly out until you can almost not see them in your periphery. They're just on the edge of your vision. You can kind of wiggle your fingers here, keeping your eye contact on that spot ahead of you. It's just above eye level. Wiggle your fingers and let your awareness spread out into your peripheral vision. You can kind of notice your fingers. You can notice anything else in your peripheral vision while maintaining your eye contact on that spot ahead of you. Maybe you have something on the wall to one side or the other. Maybe even take a moment to notice the sounds around you. You can relax your hands into whatever position is comfortable while maintaining this layer of focus. Noticing the surface beneath you. Noticing your feet on the floor, if they're on the floor. Feeling very held by the space. And if you haven't already, feel free to close your eyes now. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Hold at the top for just a moment. And then slowly exhale, trying to make your exhale about twice as long as your inhale was. Do that one more time. Nice inhale. Hold at the top for a moment. And then exhale out with your exhale being slightly longer than your inhale. Just one more time. Inhale, nice full deep breath, holding at the top for a moment. Exhaling twice as long as your inhale was. As you do that, noticing a wave of relaxation coming through you from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. Okay, we will begin our journey here today at the beginning of a footpath. This footpath itself is alive. It itself is a guide, and yet it is a part of you. It takes you where you need to go. The direction it winds in is informed by your own thoughts, your expectations, and your intentions. Today, we are going to a rather specific place. We, the foxes, are your intermediaries today, aware as we are of the infinite in between. We simply ask and instruct that you take a moment inside of yourselves to look down and see your feet on this footpath. And decide now that you are willing to go where we wish to take you, to a version of yourself you may not have met yet, one with enhanced awareness of your place amongst us, amongst nature, which you are equally a part of as we are. We wish to take you to the grove of interbeing, to recognition and remembrance. Say yes now if you want to come with us, and we will begin. Your bare feet are making contact with the soft, rich earth below you. Every step you take along this path, you notice the smell of that rich earth, of the trees and plants around you, meeting you with every step. You are delighted to feel the different textures below your feet, sensing the heartbeat of the earth as you walk. One step on a soft earthen surface made of decomposed tree matter, one step on a vibrantly alive piece of moss, one step on a cool, smooth stone. So on our journey goes as you walk down this pathway into an inviting and familiar forest. Up ahead, you see a shape on the pathway. And as you get closer and closer, it comes into focus. It is I, your fox guide for this journey, waiting here to greet you in the sacred forest. As you walk up before me, I stand, and we bow our heads in recognition of our respect for each other. We can go no further without this. I honor your willingness to be here as you honor the gifts of our fox wisdom. We proceed. I, your fox guide, turn and begin to trot down the pathway, perfectly aligned with our destination. You begin to notice the trees around us, the sun coming through them. You feel how alive this place is. It has always been so alive, and you delight in your ability to notice this in its fullness now. We walk over a stream, and you feel for a moment the conversation taking place within energy between the minnows and the stones that they are swimming above. Even the water feels alive to you now, as if it were singing a joyous song to your ears that you've never heard before. The further we walk, the more you notice the vibrancy of life that is all around us. Birds are singing songs to the sun and the clouds. A cricket hops across the path and acknowledges you as a fellow traveler. As this cricket hops by, you look down and notice your feet again. Your feet are no longer that which you are used to, but covered in the fur of the fox. I turn in recognition as you discover that you have become so immersed in the sacred forest that you have joined me in the form of a fox. Nimble paws will serve you better here, and you delight in the fluidity of your movements now. You notice the color of your fur. You feel warm, balanced, fast, and delight in the quickness of our swift trot towards the grove. How easy it is to move now. We descend down a small hill, hopping effortlessly over rocks and maneuvering around tree branches along the way. Towards the bottom of a slope, we reach a small valley where the trees begin to open up, growing in the form of a large circle around us, creating our meeting place, the Grove of Interbeing. The trees are indeed delighted that we are here today. As we begin to enter this grove, you notice a dense mist covering the space, concealing the details of what is before us. I trot ahead into the mist, and for a moment you lose sight of me and wonder whether or not to follow, whether you can follow. But then you remember today you are in the form of a fox. You are immersed in our gifts and our capabilities. You have access to everything that I do and have all you need to proceed. You feel a sense of bravery and trust welling up inside of yourself, and you leap headfirst into the mist. As your feet land, you feel the solid earth gently catch you, just like the soft pathway held you when we began our journey. You feel safe in knowing that the connection to this steady earth remains as you orient yourself in this mist. You look down and thank the ground you stand on, and then raise your eyes again and see my bright eyes looking back at you. Still here to guide, still delighted as you say yes to proceeding. I remind you, we foxes have eyes that can see through the layers of what is before us. Look into the mist with these eyes and feel within you the decision to attune yourself to the frequency of clarity. Close your eyes for a moment here. Take one full breath. And as you open your eyes, you see that the mist does not clear, but becomes translucent. You delight that you can clearly see straight through this translucent mist. Now able to see the sun coming through it, creating sparkles of light and color dancing off of the water particles in the air. You are so in joy over the beauty of this that you almost forget to notice the space around you coming into full view. All around us in this grove, weaving through the space, intermingling with the magical light show of the sun coming through this translucent mist, are plentiful ferns of all shapes and sizes. In our fox forms, we meander around and marvel at them. You notice some magnificent and proud ferns towering above us, some small and cheerful ones springing forth from the rocks scattered around us, even some adventurous ones growing out of crevices in the trees that hold the space, delighting in the air and sunshine they can access from their position. As we take all of this in, we find a comfortable spot to sit in the center of the grove. It is time now to introduce ourselves to the ferns of this powerful space. I sit across from you, and you notice a light begin to emanate beneath the fur in the center of my chest. This light grows and grows, stretching further and further outward from my heart space until it encompasses the entire grove. It is time for you to do the same. Notice a light like that of a candle flame in the center of your chest. This light is your essence, just as my light is mine. Your unique energy of being that belongs only to you and that contains all the information of who you are within it. Begin to focus your attention on this flame and gently, effortlessly expand the glow. allowing it to reach outwards more and more as it encompasses the whole grove around us. Notice how our lights interact, how they have a slightly different color, feeling, tone, appreciating how our uniqueness brings something new and beneficial to the environment. Feel all of the plants around us celebrating being touched by this light we brought from within us and responding joyfully by sharing their own lights with us. Look around now as all of the ferns begin to emit a slight glow from the center of their beings and gradually answer our greeting by filling the space completely with their own unique essences. We celebrate this response now and bask in the embrace of our fellow beings, sharing themselves so freely with us. For another moment, we sit in the feeling of oneness and of interconnection that has been created here mutually by us all. Feeling all illusions that we are separate beings dissolved by the immersion of ourselves in the light of all of the beings in our surroundings, intermingling with our own essences as they answer the call we put out to them. Breathe in this recognition of unity for one more moment, and then look ahead of you and notice my bright eyes staring back, calling your attention in once again. It is now time to meet one of these ferns in a more direct way. There is one fern in this grove that is offering to connect with you one on one. From this space of expansion, with our essences filling the grove, you may wonder how to connect with this one fern. As your guide, I tell you now, this individual fern has extended an invitation for you to find it. And I remind you that foxes can see through the layers of reality very easily. Just as easily as you did before, close your fox eyes and set your intention to be shown the fern who has extended you the invitation to connect directly and to tune your energy to theirs. Breathe in a full breath, and at the end of your exhale, open your eyes. As your eyes open, you notice that the light coming from one of these ferns is glowing brighter than the others. Follow this light and trot over to the fern who is inviting you in. As you make your way towards your fern guide, you notice that its light becomes stronger, and the essences of all the other beings in the grove recede into the background of your awareness, allowing you to attune yourself completely to the energy of this individual fern. What does it look like? Is it big, small? Is it growing out of the ground, a rock, or maybe from a tree? Are the leaves soft, or are they leathery? Take a moment to meet this being, and as you do, notice the light of your essence harmonizing with the light that it is emitting. You may feel a sense of connection, see the colors of the lights blending together, or simply know that this is happening. Notice how it feels different from the collective energy of all within the grove. Thank this being for inviting you to it and simply be with it for a moment and share space. It may speak its wisdom into your heart. It may wordlessly share its energy with your being, gifting you with its intelligence that goes beyond language. It may show you something that will benefit you most today. Simply be with this being who has shown up for you. Observe for a moment and receive what it wants to share. In a moment, it will be time to reorient back to the grove. So now receive any last message you need to receive from your fern guide and thank it for connecting with you today. As you thank the fern that chose you, you notice a bright thread of rich green light coming from its center and holding itself in front of your heart space. This energy is a gift from your individual fern guide and from the Fern Collective. And it is an offering to take the feeling of increased connection, the remembrance of our collective interbeing with you as you move forward. As you choose to accept this gift, to welcome it into your field, more and more of this light may present itself to you. You may decide to accept the perfect amount of this gift that your system can integrate today, knowing that it is available for you to interact with again at any time. As you see this rich green light of interconnection in front of you, your fern speaks. Attune yourself now to the frequency of knowing. Knowing that you belong in connection with this magnificent world we are all creating together through our very presence. Knowing that today my gift has activated an aspect of you into remembrance of itself, and your essence has done the same for me. As you receive these words from your fern guide, you see the rich green light it has gifted you with begin to swirl itself around your heart center, and then to travel down your feet to root deeply into the earth below. The tendrils of light expanding outwards into the interconnected web of life beneath you. The plant roots, mycelium, and all that makes up the web of connection in this space being illuminated as this green light grounds you safely into the network of oneness shared here. Breathe deeply as you experience this deepened connectivity. And as you exhale, bring your attention back to your feet. You notice now that they are no longer fox paws, but your own human feet, still rooted into the earth with this light from the fern. I, your fox guide, am sitting in front of you, my essence continuing to blaze out from my heart space, as is yours. I invite you now to attune your energy to connect back into the collective essence of the grove, sensing the layers of the energy being emitted from all of the plants and from us, intermingling again in this sacred space. From here, notice if it feels any different than it did before your fern guide appeared and gave you its gift. Taking a moment to simply observe, to feel, to be. It is now time to thank this grove for welcoming us and sharing itself with us today. With this gratitude, we gift and enrich the grove, completing a cycle of reciprocity for all we have received here. Feeling whole and complete as we make our way back from this exchange. You may pull your expanded essence back within your heart center now, knowing that you can return to the state of being at any time you like. The light from your fern guide will come back with you and continue to provide its gifts as it is welcomed to, in a way that may evolve with you over time. I have said that foxes can see through many layers of our reality, and it has been a pleasure to show this innate wisdom to you that we carry. I invite you to practice this as I bring you fully back into your human being. Envision your eyes closing in the grove now. Breathe in a luscious breath of the vibrant energy held here, and intend that you are fully attuning all of your energy back to your focal point of consciousness, being experienced through your physical body. Bringing all of the blessings back from this experience with you. On your next exhale, open your eyes and find yourself back in your own space, feeling complete, whole, and present. Welcome back to your human being. Carry the wisdom of us foxes and ferns with you And remember that you are so much more than what you think you are. Goodbye for now. Gonna give everybody a minute. Take your time coming back. Thank you to those of you who have your camera on, so I know that everyone's back and alert and awake. It's also a delight to see the pets on screen participating in the process. How's everybody feeling? Thank you, Jill. Feel free to unmute or pop anything in the chat if you want to share any part of that experience. But also no pressure, and if you feel like just zenning out and hopping off, I totally understand. Awesome. Invigorated and relaxed. That's perfect, Libby. Awesome, Melissa. Glad you enjoyed. Yeah, that was a fun one for me. I've channeled a lot of meditations, but they're usually not quite like that. That was a unique one. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. All right. Emily, anything that you want to share on your
Pretty
experience?
doughy right now because I was like half experiencing it and holding the room for everybody and shifting some stuff. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit up in the ethers right now. So you might have to do the wording at this point,
You
but
were you were working hard, I could tell. I
yeah.
like popped in
um,
a little bit here and there, but I was like, Emily's got it.
I was holding the room there. It was really nice from my perspective. I can kind of tune in on everybody and I can see if somebody needs a little shift, a little expansion, a little tug or push or pull or something. So I can kind of witness in the astral everybody's experience a little bit. It's really cool from my perspective too. Um, yeah, it's really nice seeing everybody's comments. Somebody saying I was crying the whole time, so powerful. Man, those foxes, anytime they came up, it's my whole body lit up so strong. The foxes. Yeah.
I kind of did when I was bringing it through the first time, but man, they came back like really strongly, and just little background information for all of you guys about how it feels to do this sometimes. Like head to toe goosebumps, like all the good like energetic tingly feelings like the whole time the foxes were really present. That was really cool.
I always joke with her. I say, I have goosebumps on my goosebumps right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Merlin helping out. Yeah.
yeah, Merlin was helping. I guess our last comment really is just look for the email that will head everybody's way. We'll send a replay. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to email us in any capacity, DM us, whatever. There is our new inward email at the top of the chat here. But otherwise, unless anybody has any other questions or anything we can help with right now, that's kind of what we came with for everyone today.
We're nailing it with the timing. It's like exactly an hour.
We were winging it. We're like,
That's
maybe
never
an hour.
happened.
So we're like actually right
That's
on.
never happened before. Thank you, everyone who showed up. This is really
Thank
fun.
you.
It's
Yeah,
incredible, incredible energy to share space with today, if I want to use my like fluffiest language, but that's really how it feels.
exactly. The
Helped us
group.
create a beautiful space to experience this together. So really appreciate everyone who showed up.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. So nice to see so many familiar faces, and I feel so much love from everybody in this group. So thank you for showing up for us today.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna sign us off. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.